Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. All right, welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish, Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedic, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Remember, all of our great sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube, and they are tagged on Facebook. Saints lose 51-27. Say that again slowly. Saints lose 51-27. Saints on a day where you had lost 3 in a row. You're back home playing a divisional opponent, fighting conceivably for your season, and the Saints lose 51-27. The Bucs hung a 50 burger on the Saints. A 51 burger on the Saints. Man. If you watched my immediate reaction video after the game, thank you. I'll tell you my feeling. This part of my feeling hasn't changed. It's not that the Saints lost. I didn't think they were going to win the game. I don't think many people did, for a lot of reasons. Short rest, right? You played on Monday Night Football, quick turnaround. Just a rookie making his first career start behind a mash unit of an offensive line. No Taysom Hill. Olave gets knocked out in the first quarter. But even you didn't know that going in. Here's some of the defensive injuries. Obviously, Will Harris went to IR. You're without Pete Werner. So there's stuff that, we knew going in made this one really challenging. 51-27? Y'all. The real eye-popping part of that loss is 51. And you could say, well, Matt, yeah, but they did get a defensive score. Okay. 44 points your defense allowed. Your defense allowed 44 points. The defense is supposed to be the one thing you're good at. And this is Dennis Allen's side of the ball. This is the thing that is his forte. And even I, who am not a Dennis Allen fan as a head coach, have said, you got to give the man credit. He is a really good defensive coordinator, and he has been, and he's proven that he's a good defensive coach in this league. So when all of a sudden now your defense stinks, now it's like, okay, what are you doing? Like, what would you say you do here? I mean, and now, if your excuse was, yeah, but they're injured and quick turnaround, okay. Now you have 4 days to get ready to play. A quicker turnaround with Denver coming in. Your former coach, who would love nothing more than to come in and put you out of your misery. So if you're going to tell me about how injured you are, because bad news for you, like Chris Olave ain't coming back. Not for this game. Concussion protocol? You can't clear concussion protocol in 4 days. Rattler's going to start again because you don't have enough time to get Jake Haener up to speed. I mean, bad got worse, and worse is about to get unfixable for the New Orleans Saints. All right. Smash the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us here on this Monday. Game week for LSU as the Tigers head to Arkansas on Saturday. Well, they'll leave on Friday, but they'll play on Saturday. I believe I saw LSU's a 2.5-point favorite, so short line. That would probably make you a little apprehensive, man. LSU, generally, Arkansas plays LSU really tough. It's on the road, night game. They just beat Tennessee. Now they're coming off their bye. You're coming off a really emotional win. I mean, this is a quintessential letdown spot for LSU. Like, if you are ever looking at the booby trap on the path, like, this is it. So LSU is a 2.5-point favorite. You better go up there and play your best, man. We'll wait. One big storyline this week we'll see is Taylor Green, their quarterback, who got injured at the end of the Tennessee game. It was a knee injury. Their bye came at the right time for them. We'll see if he can go, how effective he'll be for LSU this week. So, or against LSU this week. All right, Stace, good morning. It's 44, the legendary. Only way to salvage the season, in my opinion, is if you fire Dennis Allen today. Well, they're not going to fire him today. You had a short week with the game on Thursday. You're not firing your coach before a short week. If you lose this game, and then you're looking at 2-4, and you wanted to fire him, you could, because you have kind of a mini bye after you play on Thursday. But I still don't think they're going to do that. I don't think this organization is going to fire midseason. I think you're just more likely, playing out the string at that point. Tim, having to go on the road to Arkansas and A&M scares the bejesus out of me. Yeah, I mean, Tim, in the preseason, I circled the Ole Miss and the A&M games as games where I thought the better team might lose. Now, look, I'm not running from in the week. I picked Ole Miss on Friday. But before the season, I was like, well, Ole Miss back-to-back road conference games, all the stuff we talked about, right? So I picked LSU there, and then I picked A&M to beat LSU preseason for the same reason. So maybe the reminder is, hey, Matt, go with what you saw in the preseason. But yes, this is a really tricky spot. It is rare that LSU has won back-to-back road conference games. Historically, it's just a very difficult thing to do. Last year, they played back-to-back road conference games, lost Ole Miss, beat Missouri by the skin of their teeth. So, yeah, really challenging stretch ahead for LSU. Wendell, good morning. Kelly Gross, good morning. Trav, good morning. Jason H., good morning. Chance, Saints couldn't ruin that Saturday night high from LSU. Weston Weaver, good morning. Chris, good morning. Salvaging the season begins with accepting what you are, which is a mediocre football team, and firing Dennis Allen. Yeah. I mean, y'all don't have to tell me. I mean, I thought they should have fired him last year, and I do not think they should have restructured Derek Carr, because to me, it is plain as day that those two are not bringing you anywhere of significance. So you kept Dennis Allen and you restructured Derek Carr, which means you're financially bound to him for 2 years. So whatever. Chris P. Morton Meadows in the dome. It was terrible. Getting down 17-0 was brutal. Allowing the opening drive touchdown. And then you had the scoop and score after the Olave, hit and fumble. But you storm back. You got 3 first half interceptions. You had a punt return for a touchdown. How about this statistic? I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but I tweeted like, "Hey Siri, has a team ever scored a special teams touchdown, recorded 3 interceptions, and lost by 3 scores?" And somebody replied to me, with a tweet from Crimealytics. There it is. Crimealytics. The 2024 New Orleans Saints are the first team since the 1950 Baltimore Colts to intercept 3 passes, score 27 points, and lose a game by 24 or more. That doesn't even include the punt return for the touchdown. No bueno. Jesse Brown, morning. Do you think LSU plays defense as good or better than Ole Miss this season? No, I think Ole Miss is better defensively. Look, someone's going to clip that because I said Ole Miss is better. LSU beat Ole Miss. Okay. Ole Miss is most definitely a more talented defense. That's not debatable. LSU doesn't have anyone like Walter Nolan on their defensive front or JJ Pegues. I think LSU's ends have been playing outstanding, but so too are Ole Miss's defensive ends. I don't know if you listened to Locked On. If you've not listened to Locked On LSU yet this morning, I went to the Pro Football Focus grades. Will Campbell had 50. It was 52 or 56 pass rush snaps, or pass block snaps, I should say. Will Campbell had 56 pass blocking snaps. He had a pass blocking grade of 92.8, did not allow a single pressure in 56 pass blocking snaps. That guy is so good. Anyway, I don't know the point of the question asking whose defense is better. You played a straight up game with them. You went to overtime. You went to overtime. You finished regulation tied. So, to that point, look, I didn't pick the winner right Saturday, but I picked everything else right. Told y'all my favorite play was the under. Went under. Even with overtime, it went under. I told you my favorite play was the under. So it was going to be a carbon copy of the USC game, 4-quarter game where someone would have the ball in the final 2 minutes with a chance to go win it. Ultimately played out that way, or LSU had a chance to go tie it. Didn't make the play against USC. You made the play against Ole Miss. Awesome. What's it going to take for the Saints to make a change? Keep going on this path, man. Look, you missed the playoffs for a 4th consecutive year, 3 straight years under DA. And there's no excuses. He's got his quarterback. He's got his coaching staff. He's got his players, his draft picks. There's just no excuse. Some person, at least the Saints, don't have to buy plane tickets to go to the Super Bowl. Fire DA now. Being a fan of Louisiana sports team in general, it's just hard. Chris, winning mass deficiencies, losing magnifies them. Weeks 1 and 2 painted over the flaws this team has. The last 4 games have been turpentine. Yeah, man. You know what I will say, though, Chris? The wins the first 2 weeks, I don't think that was fool's gold offensively. But what the injuries have exposed, as the injuries on the offensive line have exposed your flaws, which are Derek Carr and that offense can't go without your wide zone scheme. Well, that wide zone scheme doesn't go if you don't have because it's wide zone, then play action. Well, if you don't have Eric McCoy in the middle, who's your best offensive lineman, and Cesar Ruiz, who, say what you will, still starting caliber offensive lineman in the NFL. And now all of a sudden you've had four different centers and four different starting centers over in 4 weeks. You know, I mean, you went from McCoy to Shane Lemieux to Lucas Patrick to Connor McGovern. You have 4 starting centers in 4 weeks. I mean, Kirk Taylor, good morning. Randall Offred. If Dennis Allen is the coach because of the defense, but the defense is one of the worst in the league, why is he still the head coach? Kind of where we started the show today. You know, his MO, his forte is defense. And when you lose your defense and you lose the team and they're not playing for you anymore, that's when you really start to look and go, okay, it's time. Thomas, morning, Matt. Chilly, Northern Alabama. Defense was something. O-line did their job for sure. Saints made my drive horrible. Oh, you're talking about LSU. Okay, you're talking about LSU. Got it. You talk about LSU, then Saints made the drive horrible. Okay, Brian Williams. Saints L doesn't sting as bad with the LSU win. Jesse Brown, does DA remain the coach the entire season? You know, I think the Saints just haven't had a propensity to make changes midseason. So now I'll grant you, Sean Payton was here for a long time. You obviously weren't making that change. So, we haven't had this conversation since the Jim Haslett era. You had an interim back when they fired Jim Mora and Rick Venturi became the interim. But that's been almost 30 years. So, Gail Benson hasn't been faced with this. So, I don't know what she'll do as an owner. Does she even make that decision, or does Mickey Loomis have the autonomy to make that decision? I don't know. But I think you look and you say, okay, if you make a change midseason, why are you making a change midseason? Like, is there anything you can salvage? Does it help your operation at all? But then the other part of it too is if you don't, are you effectively just conceding the season? Or are you trying to do something different and better? The flip side of it is if you do, it's an opportunity to look at maybe look at Clint Kubiak. How would he run things? You let one of the defensive assistants actually be the defensive coordinator and run the defense and see what they might do differently. So to some degree, there's that component. Taylor, good morning. Still basking in the win from Saturday night. Question about Chris Hilton at this point. Is he medically ready to play and may be serving a suspension due to conduct or academics? I can tell you definitively that is not the case, Taylor. So please don't go start that rumor. That isn't, like, there was no suspension at all, none whatsoever. That is not it. I've told you as much as I can here. He's dealing with a fickle injury that he's got to feel comfortable that he can get out there and perform the way that they would expect him to. So I've been told he's medically cleared. Like, he could play. He's got to feel comfortable getting out there and doing it. And only he can answer that question. You and I can't answer that. We're not in his body. He's got to feel right. So when he's right, he'll get out there and he'll go play. I hope it's this week. Been saying that for a month now, but I've been saying since the beginning of the season, I hope he gets to play. But I would have thought for sure South Carolina. I would have thought if he didn't play against SC, and then there's no reason to play him against Nichols, get him back for the road game against South Carolina. He didn't play there, and then he dressed against UCLA but didn't play. It's got to feel right, man. But please don't go starting any rumors or there's no reason to do that. That's because now and I know you're not intentionally doing that. That wasn't your intention, Taylor, with the comment, but now when you put things out into the ether, they spread and it's like a game of telephone. People mishear, then the rumors start. And so just don't do that. That's just not, no. Definitively no. Jerry, good morning. Dale, pretty sure I still have some hearing loss from Saturday night in Death Valley. Second largest loss of the Bucs in franchise history. Didn't I see that's the most yards the Bucs ever gained? 594. Will the Saints be able to salvage the season? Tiger Diver, I don't think so. I mean, this is why going into this game, we talked about how significant it was. So right now, let's just do the math, right? So you're 2-4. So you're 2-4 right now, and you're 1-2 in the division. So right now you're behind both the Falcons and the Bucs in with a head-to-head. Now you get to play them each again, but that puts you behind in 4 potential tiebreakers. So let's say, hypothetically, you got to get to 10. Let's say 10 wins you the division. I don't know that it will. Atlanta and Tampa are both 4-2 right now, but let's say 10-2 wins you the division. All right, well, you're 2-4. That means you would have to go. You have to go 8-3 the rest of the way. I mean, do we think they're going 8-3 the rest of the way? I mean, short week turnaround now with a rookie quarterback and all that stuff, Sean Payton coming in. You lose this game, then you got to go 8-2 the rest of the way. And your next time out, you got to go to LA to play the Chargers. Then you got to go across the other side of the country to play Carolina. The cross-country travel is brutal. You go from New Orleans to LA, back to New Orleans to Charlotte, back home to then play the Falcons. I mean, then you get the Browns at home, and they're terrible. You can win that game. Then you get your bye, mercifully. You're home against the Rams. You got to go to the Giants. You're home against Washington, which at the beginning of the season, that looked really winnable. Now, not so much. You got to go to Green Bay, which I don't know. Then you're home against the Raiders at Bucs, who just blasted you. So, I mean, Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, at Packers, at Bucs. That's 5 just off the top. I can tell you're not going to be favored. And you got to go 8-3 the rest of the way. You're an underdog against Denver this week. So no, I don't see the path. I mean, they will have to do something absolutely extraordinary. And I don't see that path. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us. Always shout out to Brock and Parrish. Need North Peach, go to Brock. Need a roof, give us a shout. Parrish, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Of course, Unique Physique and Restored Motions. Uniquephysique.com. That's the weight loss shot everybody talks about. It's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. They have the lowest prices. They just lowered prices last week. Never any contracts. You could do the whole thing over telemed, so you don't even have to go in the office. They could ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So you don't even have to be in Baton Rouge to use Unique Physique. So give them a shout. See if it's for you. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Let's see. Sorry. I'm pinning Parrish in the chat. Drew's off of school today and tomorrow. It's their fall break, so that's why we got started a little later today, not on a super time crunch. Got a 9 o'clock downtown at Guarantee, but we'll have Brian Kelly's press conference today as well. So tomorrow, same thing. By the way, Drew didn't have school today or tomorrow. He's back, so we're back to our regular. We'll be live 7:15 Central on Wednesday. Jerry G, tired of this. Dennis Allen, get out of here. James McKinney, we're getting to that point. Seth, I love Blake Baker. There's a pick of Celebrate with Major Burns. Saw that. Yeah, man. I think, we talked about this a little during fall camp. There was a play where so they're running 11 on 11 drills. Y'all might remember I told you this, but you might remember this. So they're running 11 on 11. And Nuss kind of threw a ball toward the sideline. I don't know. I can't remember if he was throwing it away or if it was just incomplete and tipped into the sideline. Anyway, maybe he was throwing it away. And it went right to Baker. And he dropped it. And so it was like, I guess there's a rule, like if you drop an interception, you got to get down and do push-ups or whatever. So like it hits Baker and he drops it. He's like, oh, and they're all like, and they're all the players. So he like drops down. He's doing push-ups on the sideline. It's kind of like, it's just a different energy, man. It's a different energy with Blake Baker. I mean, contrast that with what happened after the bowl game last year with Matt House when he was trying to go, no, Drew's awake. I was really hoping Drew would sleep till like 10 o'clock today. Kyrie, why does it seem like our defense is always sleepwalking to begin games? It's ridiculous. They get bullied early, wake up. In fairness, Tampa has been very good on their opening possessions this year. I think they've scored on 4 of their opening possessions this year, if I remember that statistic correctly. Quentin, good morning. Maddening. Ronnie, good to see you on Saturday, Ronnie. Glad y'all made it out, man. So you look good, man. Remember, Ronnie's our friend, our friend here who's got a cancer battle. He's fighting right now. Made it out to Don Juan for a little bit. It's great to see you. Looking good, dude. Onward and upward. We're everybody here is still praying for you, so keep us posted. All right, man. David, time to get ready for Arkansas. Hope the team maintains momentum this week. Yeah, man. I think about it. Remember 2 years ago, LSU went to Arkansas after they beat Bama. So they had the overtime upset win against Bama, went to Arkansas and found themselves in a dogfight against a really bad Arkansas team. I just do not think this one's going to be easy because it never is. I mean, when was the last time LSU went to Arkansas and just blew the doors off of them, won comfortably? I literally don't remember. 13-10, 27-24 in the COVID year. That was TJ Finley with the game-winning touchdown pass in the rain. 2018 was 24-17. That was with Burrow, obviously. LSU won in Fayetteville 38-10 in 2016. That was the week after they got shut out by Bama. So O was interim. And they won 38-10, blew them out, then went to A&M. Finished the season with a win at A&M. Last time LSU won at A&M too. 2014, they lost 17-0, never got off the mat. 2012 was the 2013. That was the Jarvis freak catch in the end zone game. 20-13. You lost there in 2010. It was Ryan Mallett. You lost in 08. That was the Miracle on Markham Part 2. 06 was the Trendon Holiday, Darren McFadden, phenomenal game. LSU won 31-26. 2004, you blew them out 43-14. 2002 was Miracle on Markham, 21-20. I was there. Maybe the most miserable in stadium experience I've ever had in my life was in Little Rock in 2002. That's probably the most miserable road trip I've ever been on. was going to Arkansas for that game. I mean, what an absolute dump. You lost there in Saban's first year, 14-3. You lost there in 98, 41-14. You won there in 96, 17-7. You won there in 94, 30-12. I don't remember that game. Oh, I do remember that game. That's when LSU was trying to make a bowl game for the first time in forever. Anyway, point is, it is just historically very rare that you roll Arkansas. They're always up for this game, and you generally aren't. So you better be ready, or all the great work you did this weekend to beat Ole Miss is going to just be completely washed. NOLA, we're a bad organization now. I don't see any changes coming anytime soon. I stopped watching games. That's the challenging part too. And that's where I think whenever an organization might make a change is when apathy sets in. See, it's interesting. Losing, people ask me this all the time about the shows, like, hey, is your show better when they win or they lose? It's a good question. Like, whenever you have for example, LSU's win on Saturday, overtime, big, that's massive. Wins like that, big wins like that are massive. And then, honestly, the biggest show we've ever had, the two biggest shows we've ever had on Whiskey and Wine were USC this year, Florida State last year. Two biggest shows we've ever had. As a matter of fact, those are the two biggest days individually the 1045 ESPN YouTube has had ever. So to that goes to show you that losing is a lightning rod until you lose so much that apathy sets in and people no longer care. And I think that's unfortunately where the Saints are starting to border on, is that apathy. And that's what Nola just said there. I stopped watching games. That's the challenging part. So if you want to breathe some life back into the team, you get an interim coach that'll do it. You know what I mean? That'll shake things to where everyone will go, okay, let's see what this looks like. That's why I like the Rattler thing is interesting with Derek Carr being injured. Not that anybody's cheering for Derek Carr to be injured, but with Rattler in there, you could at least watch for the intrigue of watching Spencer Rattler, a guy who might be your future. Maybe not, but might be. You know, Rattler did some good things. You know, I think if you look at his game, you know, in a vacuum, I don't think anybody's going to look at Spencer Rattler's day and go, man, that was phenomenal. He's the future. He was 22 of 40 for 243, a touchdown and 2 picks. The interceptions were atrocious. You got shut out in the second half. It was pretty obvious Todd Bowles at halftime made some adjustments. They just decided they were just going to bring immense amount of pressure, and Rattler didn't really know where it was coming from. And so he really struggled in the second half. But I loved some of what he did. Athletically, I think he's got good pocket presence. He made plays with his feet. Rattler ran 4 times for 27 yards with a long of 16, averaged nearly 7 yards a carry. It's good awareness, you know, when to tuck it and run and go make a play. But you know, he was sacked 5 times. There were 5 sacks, 5 TFLs, and 10 quarterback hits. I mean, Bulls in the second half was just like, screw it, just pressure him, just bring the house. And that's what they did. So, I mean, I don't think you look at what Spencer Rattler did and went, there's your franchise. But I think he did some really good stuff that you could say, hey, there's potential there. Jerry, I got a better idea. Don't go to the Dome Thursday. Let it be empty like COVID. Don't show up. Save your money. Stay home. Deborah, good morning. Ronnie didn't stay for the whole show yesterday. All good, dude. Christian, absolutely brutal. Good morning. Yeah, brutal, man. Denzel, shouldn't Dennis Allen be fired? I mean, Diesel, I'm sorry. I thought he should have been fired after last season. For me, it's just a matter of understanding when to cut your losses, right? When you realize something isn't going to work, why do you continue to double down? It's like in a relationship. If you're dating someone and like you want to live in the South, she wants to live in the North, you want kids, she doesn't. You are at you have completely different backgrounds, completely different viewpoints. Like, but you're having fun together. It's like, well, it's great you're having fun, but like, is this actually sustainable? At some point, you realize, okay, like this is going to end. So do we just keep going? The further you go, the harder it is to sever ties. I mean, if you realize that it's over, like it's not going to work, which this isn't going to work with Dennis Allen, like why do you keep just prolonging it? Like the quicker you make the decision to cut ties, the sooner you move on to what is next and what is hopefully prosperous. Poor tackling is true. The Chris Godwin touchdown was unacceptable. Paulson Adebo and Alante Taylor. Adebo was trying to strip the ball. Taylor just went for a kill shot instead of actually wrapping up and tackling. It was terrible. Dennis Allen, after the game, called the tackling, quote, atrocious. Hey, man, you're the defensive coordinator. Patrick Burgle asks, good morning. Only the Saints could do what they did against the Bucs and Falcons and lose those games. Unbelievable. They could ruin such a great sports weekend with that tidal wave in the second half. Brent, Saints were defenseless in the Dome. Dennis Allen should be fired after that embarrassing performance. Jerry's on it, man. Power to Samuel speech, 2-5, fire DA. They're not going to fire him this week. But Brian, good morning. Free Mind, good morning. See if we don't win 10 straight. Saints franchise is over. Well, they're not going to win 10 straight. I don't think the franchise is over, but the season, you lose on Thursday, which I think they will. You lose on Thursday. Because like Denver's defense, here's the thing to remember about Denver coming in. We'll have plenty of time to talk about this game, the game and preview it. But just from the 10,000 foot view, I understand they're bringing in a rookie quarterback as well, and Bo Nix and all that stuff. And actually, as I look at it now, the Saints are a 1-point favorite. So it was a pick 'em when I looked at it last night. Saints are 1-point favorite right now. Denver defensively is one of the best defenses in the NFL. So while they have Bo Nix and they're working through issues with a rookie quarterback, Denver is 1, 2, 3. They're fourth in the NFL in total defense, and they're fourth in scoring defense as well, allowing just 16 points per game. So you have a short week, quick turnaround, mass unit of an offensive line. You're not going to have Chris Olave. You're probably starting Spencer Rattler again, and you're going against one of the best defenses in the NFL. There's just not a lot of reason to believe offensively you're going to get going. And after the performance we just saw defensively, and it's Sean Payton, I don't have a lot of confidence they'll win this game on Thursday. And so if they lose and fall to 2-5, then you have to go 8-2 over your final 10 to get to 10-7. Like, come on. So yeah, I mean that's why yesterday was so important. And for that to be such an important game, and not just to lose, but to lose the manner in which you did, giving up 51 and 600 yards and 594, wasn't that the yardage? 594, almost 300 rushing yards. Just disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. Like no pride at all. They put up 594 and they ran for 277. Out of here, man. That's not Army, bro. Like that's not Army taking on Kent State. That's not like a triple option team running for 300 yards. That's the National Football League. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New Orleans Saints with Brian Brzee, a first-round draft pick, Colin Saunders on the interior, Cameron Jordan, Chase Young, Carl Granderson, DeMario Davis, Willie Gay. Like that defense allowed 277 rush yards. Where's your pride, bro? That's never thought I'd say that about the Saints defense, man. Like the defense has been the thing that's kept them in games. Never thought I'd say that about the defense. They averaged 7.9 yards per carry. They averaged 8 yards a carry. Out of here, man. Anyway. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here. I used to fight kids back in the day for calling us the Aints. Looks like I'm about to have to get back in the gym because, oh boy, I know. It's 8:07, y'all. My apologies. I am gonna have to get going because I need to be on the road. I got to be in downtown at 9, so I got to be on the road here in 23 minutes. So I need to get some stuff ready. Um, y'all have an awesome day. Do me a favor again, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our sponsors, they're linked in the description on YouTube and they're tagged on Facebook. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, go shout at Parish Commercial Residential. We'd love to help you. I got Parish pinned in the chat as well. Just click the link, fill out the form. We'd love to help you. And Unique Physique and Restored Motions, uniquephysique.com, restoredmotions.com. Okay, y'all. Locked on LSU is already live, so we're done here. Just jump over to Locked on LSU podcast or YouTube. Would really appreciate that as always. And we'll see you for AFR 3. Brian Kelly meets reporters at noon. Get ready for Arkansas, and we'll see you for AFR 3.